taking those 2 games for us and really shutting down a very strong offense in Bradley. And as she was shutting down their strong offense, excuse me, our offense started to heat up a little bit. I think we're starting to click a little bit more. We're getting some clutch hits when we need to. We've been still doing the same things we've been doing all year, getting ourselves in position and running the bases well. And we're starting to get some clutch hits at the right time. And those 2 wins on last Tuesday were really big for us in the league, putting us in a really good position. On Thursday against Iowa at home, a little bit disappointed in the way that we competed that day. You know, it was just one of those days where we had a couple of girls. Sam Reimer took a foul ball off the toe on Tuesday, and so we were resting her, and our center fielder, Michaela Rettinger, who's one of our leading hitters, actually has a torn rotator cuff in her left shoulder, and so we were resting her, just making sure something crazy didn't happen to set us back for the weekend. You know, I didn't really think that was going to affect our lineup that much, but I think it definitely affected the way we pitched. Nicole Fisher did a nice job behind the plate, but I just think that comfort zone with Sam maybe affected our pitching a little bit, as well as our lineup, which usually you wouldn't think one person out of the lineup is going to affect it, especially when everybody's kind of clicking. But it did a little bit on Thursday, and so it's disappointing because you like to put your best foot forward against in-state rivals, but we'll get another shot at them sometime soon, I'm sure. Anyway, we wanted to make sure that we were prepared for this weekend. Illinois State was a big weekend going in there, knowing that they're a great team. They kind of struggled as they got into the conference season a little bit, but their body of work as far as who they've played and who they've beaten in the pre-conference season, they're a great team, just like they always have been. Offensively, you know, one of the strongest in the league. Pitching, I think, is a little bit different than it's been in the past. They've had 2 phenomenal pitchers. This year they've got 2 very solid pitchers who on any day can be great, but they've kind of been up and down, I think, this year. And if you'd have told me on Friday when we left that we were going to win 1 out of 3 and we were going to lose the 2 that Jamie Fisher pitched, I would have said you're crazy. But Jamie pitched unbelievable. After the first inning, we gave up 3 runs in the first inning of Game 1. You know, Jamie was struggling with command, walked a couple kids, hit a batter, and gave up a run. And then we had 2 outs and a ground ball that we misplayed and gave up 2 more runs, and we ended up spotting them 3 in the first. On a day where their pitchers were very sharp. We ended up giving up 1 more later on a 2-out base hit, giving them the 4-0 lead. We were able to scratch 1 back and actually get ourselves in that position that we talk about as coaches and as our team when we are down, is to get yourself to have the tying run get to the plate. So you're 1 pitch away from maybe tying that thing up. And our kids battled back and got ourselves in that spot with Nicole Fisher up to the plate, and she's probably the one kid where you know that 1 pitch might do it for you. But we weren't able to get it done in that first game. In Game 2, Jamie was very sharp. She did a great job. And, you know, it was just one of those things where questionable call here, you know, a bloop base hit there and 1 run, and we weren't able to get anything across. And the crazy thing is the scores that we put up yesterday, 9 runs and had like 3 home runs, and it was just an offensive display. We hit the ball just the exact same way yesterday as we did on Saturday. The difference is the wind was blowing straight in on Saturday, and we had about 6 balls that we hit that they caught right at the fence, and we had nothing to show for it. Yesterday, wind's blowing out just a little bit. Gina Brown hits a home run. Kristen Locke hits a home run. Sammy Olson hits a home run. We have doubles that are going off the fence and doing a great job offensively. And we didn't do anything different. And yesterday, the balls weren't falling for them. They were hitting fly balls. Abby Van Vliet did a great job of keeping their hitters off balance and getting them to pop up and hit weak ground balls. And they were frustrated yesterday, just like we were on Saturday when, you know, we were hitting balls great, It was just getting into the wind, and their outfielders were making great plays. So that was the difference in the weekend, I think, because we played 3 games pretty much the same way, pitching, defense, offensively. The biggest factor was the wind was blowing in on Saturday and held our balls up, and yesterday the wind was blowing out and we were getting some balls out to go out of the ballpark. So that was the difference. But we still, yesterday getting that win kept us in a great spot. We're still sitting in 4th place in the league with the 3rd place team right in front of us in Drake, and that's what we're looking forward to this weekend, is going to Drake and seeing what we can do there. We also have a couple of midweek games this week. Tomorrow we go to Bradley to finish our series there, play a single game, and then on Thursday Iowa State comes to town for the remake game from a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully we'll be able to get that in again on Thursday. So a couple games midweek, and then a big series with Drake to finish out the conference season, and the conference shakeup comes down to the last week, just like it always has, and a lot of moving can be done in the next week. Any questions?
Yeah, I attended the Bradley game, and on the first game, I saw Jamie change her windup in the 4th inning, and then the 5th inning they hit a homer off of her. And on the change, when she changed her warm-up, her hair wasn't flying over her head. Okay, now as you know, the more herky-jerky type of warm-up prevents the batter from watching the ball, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so does anybody ever complain about that, about her hair coming?
No, and quite honestly, there's a lot of other pitchers that we've faced that have that same thing. It really isn't.
Is that part of the herky-jerky?
Yep, yep. And it's something that I've noticed. I've never said anything, but Jamie probably does her hair different every single game, so I don't know. That's a big factor.
I'm not concerned about how she does her hair, other than just the whole thing, and it's not braided, goes over her head, and that adds to the visual image that the batter sees.
Yeah, nothing's ever been said about that.
Any difference in the scouting report with Bradley having seen them a couple games last week?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll see Madeline Lynch-Crumry again, who's done a great job in the league, and they're going to be fighting for that, to get into the tournament. So I think it'll be a high intensity game with them trying to get in and us to still put ourselves in great position for the weekend. So.
How do you have to approach that with a split series where you're not playing 3 games in 2 days? You try to remind the girls what happened last week, or do you just treat it as any other single midweek game?
We just treat it like any other midweek game. And the nice thing is that they have to see Jamie all 3 games. That's the one good thing for us, is that, we don't have to have somebody else throw a game. We can throw Jamie 2 games on last Tuesday, and she's going to see him again this Tuesday, and has done a nice job. So, she matches up really well with their hitters, and we got a good game plan going against them. So I don't think there's anything that will change up on our end.
What's the scouting report on Drake, and what do you have to do to pass them, jump them, and get to 3rd?
I think in order to get to 3rd, I haven't studied it real well. I know Coach Gertis has got her math going on all the scenarios. But I think if we take 2, it'd put us in really good position, because we're really close. I think we're only a half game behind them right now. And I think to take 2 would really put us in a good spot to get into that top 4, and I think that's what we're really shooting for right now, is to stay in the top 4. So to get the Bradley game on Tuesday and to get 2 from Drake would I think do that for us. The scouting report on Drake is they're very good. I think they've dropped a couple of games lately that they might not have early, but they've got 2 great pitchers, Jordan Gronwald and Schmidt. They're like what we had last year, and Jamie, the hard thrower, and Hutch, the soft thrower that can throw people off balance at game 1, game 2. They don't even do it game 1 to game 2. They might go one time through the order and then bring her in, and go one time through the order and then bring Jordan back in, and so they do a lot of things pitching wise that keep offense is off balance. Coach Calvert does a great job with that. And offensively, I think they've got like 4 girls that are in the top 15 in the league hitting. You know, their third baseman, Naibo's doing a great job. Pierce is probably making a run for player of the year. Their shortstop, Macy Silliman, the top of their order. They steal bases. I mean, they do a really good job of running bases and putting pressure on defenses. And this year, they're also adding the long ball with it too. So, you know, a very good team right now. One of the better Drake teams, I think, since I've been coaching against them, as far as being well-rounded with everything.
What can you tell us about the transfer pitcher that's coming in? And is she eligible right away next year? What's kind of the transfer deal?
Yeah, she'll be eligible right away in the fall. She did lose a year of eligibility playing in the fall at Oklahoma State last year. So she will be coming in as a sophomore for us. She's a hard thrower. Be a great compliment with Jamie. Same type of mentality on the rubber. The thing that she adds that Jamie doesn't is she'll probably be in the 3 or 4 hole for us offensively as well. Very strong kid, and will add depth and help out Jamie a ton, as well as help us bring along our freshman that's coming in next year. Instead of having to throw them in the fire like we did this year, to help bring them along a little bit and help, you know, develop them a little bit easier, but add some pop to our lineup, which will help a lot. Anyone else? Thank you.